Καλησπέρα σας παιδάκια, τι κάνετε? Τώρα δεν ξέρω όσοι βλέπετε ότι γίνεται στο Αμέρικα και γενικά ρε παιδί μου, όχι αυτή την εβδομάδα, την προηγούμενη. Ποιο προηγούμενη, δεν θυμάμαι τώρα. Με τον Jon Tron. Είπε και καλά ότι είναι ρατσιστικό, ότι είπε κάτι για τους μαύρους και μαλακίες. Λοιπόν, στην Αμερική, άλλη διαφορά, στην Αμερική έχουν ένα πρόβλημα με τους μαύρους. Όπως εμείς έχουμε πρόβλημα με τους μετανάστες που άμα βρίσκουμε μετανάστη είμαστε ρατσιστές κτλ. Έτσι και αυτοί έχουν πρόβλημα με τους μαύρους. Δηλαδή, άμα βρεις ένα μαύρο στην Αμερική, σημαίνει ότι είσαι ρατσιστής κτλ. Ενώ άμα κάνεις ένα αστείο σε ένα λευκό, δεν είσαι ρατσιστής, είναι απλά αστείο. Ναι. Και όμως ζούμε, αντί να είμαστε και καλά πιο έτσι προοδευτικοί, να το πω με την έννοια προοδευτικοί σε ό,τι θέλουμε, με την έννοια προοδευτική, δηλαδή να είμαστε όλοι ίσοι κτλ. Γυρνάμε πίσω στον μεσαίωνα. Καταλαβαίνετε τι σημαίνει μεσαίωνας? Αν πεις κάτι, καταδίκη. Καταλαβαίνετε. Εντάξει, δεν είμαστε ακόμα στο μεσαίωνα να σκοτώνουμε ανθρώπους για αυτόν τον λόγο, δηλαδή, αν πεις κάτι ρατσιστικό, αλλά μπορούμε και να φτάσουμε και άμα θέλουμε. Έτσι όπως το πάμε. Με αυτή την έννοια θέλω να πω. Απλώς ήθελα να πω ότι έδειχνε μερικά στοιχεία ο Jon Tron εδώ πέρα το παλικάρι αυτό.
Tribalization of our culture. These days we're taught to think in explicitly racial or ethnic categories or in terms of gender or sexual orientation.
Αυτό έχει δίκιο. Αυτό που λέει, πρώτα απ' όλα λέει και γιατί, ας πούμε, άμα κατηγορείς τους γκέα είσαι ομοφοβικός, άμα κατηγορείς τους μετανάστες είσαι ρατσιστής, άμα κατηγορείς ας πούμε τη θρησκεία, ας πούμε τον χριστιανισμό κοροϊδέψεις, όχι τον μουσουλμανισμό, με συγχωρείτε. Άμα κοροϊδέψεις τον Αλλάχ και τα λοιπά, είσαι καταδίκη θάνατος και τα λοιπά. Άμα κοροϊδέψεις τον χριστιανισμό, δεν υπάρχει τίποτα, εντάξει, είναι όλα καλά. Έτσι είναι κάπως η κοινωνία μας υποκριτική, να το πω έτσι απλά, και έχει δίκιο σε αυτόν τον τρόπο. Απλώς τώρα δεν ξέρω γιατί τα media μαζί με τον PewDiePie, και τον PewDiePie δεν τον πάω καθόλου να πω την αλήθεια, που για καλά τον λένε να ζει και τα λοιπά, τους έχουν βάλει στόχο ότι να χάσουν views, δεν ξέρω το λόγο. Πάντως πολύ φάση έχει. Εντάξει, έχει φάση, δεν έχει φάση. Πιο πολύ, ας πούμε, εγώ πιστεύω το κάνουν επίτηδες. Δηλαδή, ότι και να πεις στις μέρες μας, δηλαδή προκαλείς. Ακόμα και να πω, ας πούμε, εγώ, για παράδειγμα, είμαι γκέι, θα προκαλέσω. Ή άμα πει ένας αστυνομικός είναι γκέι, θα προκαλέσει. Κάτι τέτοιο παίζει με αυτή την έννοια. Drugs. Τι να πω, ρε Jon Tron, όχι, δεν φταίει αυτός. Δεν φταίει αυτός. Τα media φταίνε που είναι δηλαδή υποκριτικά και προσπαθούν να το μειώσουν, επειδή μπορεί να λέει αλήθειες. Ένα από τα δύο παίζει. Τέλος πάντων, αυτά παιδιά ήθελα να κάνω έτσι μια διευκρίνηση.
I'm not saying had a raw deal in this country. Discrimination certainly exists, but I do believe it goes all ways. I'm not naive to the fact that we dropped the curious what was going on. You know, any of the things in the stream that could tons. Sincerely to all of you who've supported me through this ride. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to catch up on my new videos, you know where to find me.
Θα συμφωνήσω. Society of today is so stupid and hypocritical. That I predict that in the year 2050 everything that has to do with white males is considered racist and sexist. Εδώ είναι και, εδώ παίζει ρόλο και αυτισμό, ρε, πώς λέγεται. Τι να πω και τι να πεις,
Jon Tron came under criticism. Took me
Hey, because you're fucking rich, dog.
infuriating,
If you don't think we've got rid of discrimination, you're living in a fantasy land.
depressing,
This truly multicultural, every single person is a different like thing or race or religion. I don't really know if that's sustainable long term.
and well, kind of pathetic.
They're different, but when you compare cyan and deep blue next to red, the bluish colors tend to look a little bit more similar, don't they? So my point is that they're all facing similar problems, coming from a similar part of the world. What does that tell you?
Over the course of 2 long and painfully incoherent hours, Jafari takes a defensive posture, giggling self-consciously throughout the entirety of the interview.
I would argue that a lot of them are on welfare, you understand.
He continually makes inaccurate statements, misspeaking on a broad range of topics, from fantasy Muslim riots in Europe.
The United Kingdom didn't have Jim Crow. France didn't have Jim Crow. We still have riots. We still have Muslim riots over there.
To the current political climate of modern-day Sweden.
You're telling me that there are riots all over Europe and riots all over Sweden? No, they don't.
To the treatment of early Irish immigrants in America.
100 years, 150 years ago, Italians, Polish people, Irishmen wouldn't have been considered even white people, let alone Americans, right?
I don't know that
And then-
that is just a myth. That's not true. They were considered white. I don't know where this thing that Italians and Irish weren't considered white. That's ridiculous. You seen the Irish are like the whitest people around. The hell, that's just a fucking myth. So I'm going to take that from you.
He is continually confused by basic concepts.
Half the people that were tweeting at me in response to what you were saying to me were literal Nazis and white supremacists, like linking
Look,
me.
man, it's this guilt by association shit. Why don't you denounce all the communists in your movement? They
What's
killed
wrong with
100 million people.
Wait,
What's
what
wrong
is
with communism? Is
communism?
that what you just said?
Wait, what does communism have to do with any of this?
Well, what do Nazis have to do with this?
At one point, he asserts that Italian-American involvement in organized crime movements would have been a good reason to institute an immigration ban on Italians.
People not liking the Italians doesn't make them not white. It just makes them not liked. Perhaps they had some traits that were undesirable. I hear the Italian mafia made the rounds. But look, that would have been a good argument to restrict Italian immigration then.
Later, he compares the quote-unquote displacement of the American Indians by European colonialists to a paranoid vision of a modern-day America in which white people are being quote-unquote displaced by minorities. By the end of the video, the only thing that has been made abundantly clear is that Jon Tron should stick to video games. I'm all for free speech, and I think open political discourse is essential to a functioning democracy. But the fact is, in order to take part in a meaningful political discussion, you need to know things about history, ideology,
The mantra has... I mean...
Closing statements.
Oh, dude.
Irish, but the point is that this kind of discrimination is universally wrong.
While explaining that he is no good at debating.
Adequately. So now every haphazard, offhand remark I made in the heat of the moment is being dissected.
There is a lesson to be learned from the strange story of John Jafari. Be careful who you listen to.
So again, this is meant to put people in their balkanized.
And it balkanized.
There are a lot of crazy people on the internet.
I'm a reptoid clone of John Wayne and Elvis.
And there are